Hey everybody, it's Bolshi here, back with another Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous build video. Today we're going to be building the Brutal Charger. This build is focused on mounted combat. We're going to have a very powerful animal companion that we ride into battle, charging from enemy to enemy, wreaking havoc on the battlefield. And if you've always wanted to play as a dragon rider, I'm going to show you a special class combination at the end of this video that will allow you to do just that. Alright, so let's jump right into the build here. Our first level is going to be Barbarian, the Mad Dog archetype. Now the Mad Dog is a little bit of a slow starter. It doesn't get rage at first level like most Barbarians do, but we do get a fully leveled pet, and that's why we're taking this class. You can choose any race you want. I like to choose a race that has a strength bonus. This is going to be very strength focused. Human is really nice for the extra feet, but I'm going to build not going human for people that don't want to. I don't want to lock you into feat choices. Okay, so we're going to get the Smilodon. Although later on we are going to be buffing our pet, we're probably going to be turning it into a dragon. It's going to get crazy. But the Smilodon, first of all, it has great stats. It has amazing attacks while we're leveling up. It also gets Pounce at level 7. So when we're charging, our Smilodon is going to get a full attack action at the end of a charge, which is huge. So Smilodon is far and away the best choice here for our animal companion. Starting stats, I'm going to go 19 strength, 15 dexterity, 14 constitution, take 2 out of intelligence, and go 2 in wisdom for will saves. Skills, I would recommend athletics and mobility and anything else you want. I'm going to go nature here. Our first feat, there's going to be elements of this build. Now this is also kind of a role-playing choice, but there's going to be elements in this build that really benefit from getting more attacks in a round. So we're going to go with 2-weapon fighting. Background here, I'm going to put 2 builds in the spreadsheet that goes along with this, one that gets crane style and one that doesn't. And if you're getting crane style, you definitely want to go martial disciple. That's going to give us the improved unarmed strike as a bonus feat, which is very nice. Our second level is going to be Mad Dog as well. Our skills, now I didn't point this out in the beginning, but I'll say it now. Mobility is especially important because later in the game we're going to be using mobility checks to negate attacks against our mount and also to make saving throws for our mount. So mobility is absolutely a priority. We've got to get that maxed out. And any other skills there. Level 3, Mad Dog again. We're going to take Mad Dog up to level 12. Our feat here is going to be Shield Bash. And again, I like Shield Bash builds, I really do. I like the idea of riding a mount with a sword and shield, but it's also really good for our attacks per round. Level 4, we finally get Rage. We're going to bump up our strength, we get our Rage, and we're also going to get a Rage Power. Now the Rage Powers are important. We're going to be taking Lesser Beast Totem. This by itself doesn't give us too much. This is a prerequisite for something that's really going to make this build shine later. Level 5, Mad Dog again. At this point we can take Outflank. One of the best feats you can take for melee. I forgot to mention that at level 2 we get Pack Tactics. Pack Tactics increases our flanking bonus from +2 to +4, and Outflank adds another +2 with that. So whenever we're flanking with our pet, we're going to be getting a +6 to attack roll. That's very nice. Level 6, more Mad Dog. Nothing really at level 6. Alright, at level 7, we're going to be taking Mad Dog again. Level up our skills. We're going to be taking Power Attack. Power Attack adds a lot of damage to your attacks. There we go. And at this point, we're getting pretty accurate. These are full BAB classes, so they get very accurate. We can take the little penalty to hit. I guess I should read this out. You take a -1 penalty to attack, but you get a bonus to damage rolls. Level 8, we're going to be taking Mad Dog again, bump up our strength, take our skills, and our Rage Power is going to be Beast Totem. Now this one we're actually going to benefit from. While we're raging, we're going to get a +1 to armor bonus for every 4 levels we have, +1 and then an additional 1 for every 4 levels. So this is going to give us, at level 8, 3 extra AC. Very good choice. Also a prerequisite for what we want later. Level 9. Here's where we're going to choose Improved Critical. Now I think that the best weapon here, now you could go with anything you want. I would recommend going with a sword of some sort. Scimitar being the best. It has the best critical range. It's also a heavy sword. Great choice here. Long swords are good. That would be a good choice as well. Level 10, going Mad Dog again. Max out our skills. No feats here. We do start getting damage reduction. I believe we get 1 point of damage reduction right now. At level 11, we are going to take Mad Dog again. Our feat, now that we're level 11, we actually get a lot of options for feats. We get some really strong options. I think the best one here for this particular build is Shield Master. It's going to remove the penalty for dual wielding with the shield. From this point on, your shield attacks become very, very accurate. So we're going to take that. It's also a prerequisite for another cool feat we're going to take later. At level 11, we also get Greater Rage, which increases our rage bonus to +3. We get +3 to attack, damage, and will saves while raging. Level 12, our last level in Mad Dog, bump up the strength, get the skills out of the way, and our rage power is going to be Greater Beast Totem. Greater Beast Totem gives us the Pounce special ability, which allows us to take a full attack action at the end of our charge. So now that we've got, let's see, we're level 12, we've got 3 attacks with our main hand and also an attack with our shield. Every time we charge, we're going to be able to get all of those attacks with our charge bonus at the end of our charge action. That's our last level in Mad Dog. Now we're going to go to the Cavalier class, and we're going to take the Gendarme archetype. The Gendarme is a specialist in mounted combat, and it gives us a lot of bonus feats and abilities that really synergize well with the build. We continue to push these skills we've been pushing. We're going to take Bashing Finish for our level 11 feat. Our order is going to be the Order of the Sword. Now in the beginning this doesn't give us a whole lot, but at level 8 it gives us something absolutely amazing. It also gives us some bonus feats and some other cool stuff. Our mount, just continue with the mount that we already have. The bonus feat at level 11 is going to be Double Slice. Now that we're getting extra attacks, I probably should have mentioned what Bashing Finish does. Whenever we get a crit with our main hand weapon, which if you chose Scimitar, you have a really high chance of critting. I believe it's like 30% chance to crit. Every time that happens, you're going to get an extra attack with your shield. And now that we're getting all these extra attacks with our shield, we're going to take Double Slice, which allows us to add our full strength bonus to our offhand attacks. This will really pump up our damage. And the rest of our levels from here on out are going to be in Gendarme. By My Honor is an ability that, a lot of these things are incomplete. They don't have descriptions. But so long as you maintain this alignment, you'll get a +2 bonus to a saving throw of your choice. Our weakest saving throw is a will save, so I'm going to say as long as we're chaotic, which we need to be a barbarian, we're going to get a +2 bonus to our will save. Our next level is going to be Gendarme. Our feat at level 13 is going to be, this is level 15, we're going to take extra rage power. As a Mad Dog, you don't get a lot of rage powers, and there are some really, really great rage powers that barbarians have access to. So we're going to use a feat to get one of them. Now, I don't generally run with a bard, so I'm going to take Lethal Stance. That's going to give us a +1 competence bonus on attack rolls, plus an additional 1 for every 4 levels we have in Barbarian. And since we have 12 Barbarian levels, this is going to give us a grand total of +4 to hit, which is a very strong choice for one feat. Our bonus feat is going to be Mounted Combat. Now that we're getting into the Cavalier, we're going to take Mounted Combat. Mounted Combat allows us once per round to negate a hit that is made on our mount by making a mobility check against the attack roll. So if your opponent attacks your mount and hits with a 25, if you roll higher than a 25 with your mobility check, you negate the hit. And that's a very strong ability there. At level 16, we're going to take Gendarme again. I forgot to mention that at level 3 Gendarme, we get a buff to our charge attacks. So usually when you charge, you get a +2 to hit, but you also take a -2 to AC when you make a charge. Getting 3 levels in Cavalier negates the AC penalty, and it buffs up your attack bonus to +4. So we get a +4 to hit with no penalty. We're going to be charging all the time now. Level 16 gives us a strength bonus. Get our skills. And that's about it. Level 17 is in Gendarme. Our feat at level 17 is going to be, now that we have mounted combat, we can take Spirited Charge. Spirited Charge, while you're mounted and you use the charge action, you deal double damage with melee weapons. So this is currently bugged. It doesn't work at all. When it does work, I'm assuming that all of our attacks on our pounce are going to be multiplied by 2. It's basically going to double our damage, which is going to be huge. Remember that we're pouncing with our Greater Beast Totem, this one, our Rage Power here, and this should double all of our damage. Now it's bugged right now. Why do I guess that? Because I've tested every other ability in the game that modifies charge damage, and it is applied to all the attacks made during a pounce. I'm pretty sure in Tabletop Pathfinder that's not how it works, but in the game so far, charge abilities are modifying attacks made during a pounce. So this is going to be really strong. Level 18, we're going to take our 6th level of Gendarme and get our skills. This is going to give us a bonus feat. Now at this point in the game, you should have found a dexterity belt. I know you will, because at about level 10, you should have a +4 dexterity belt. So that will allow us to take the next step in our 2-weapon fighting tree. We're going to take improved 2-weapon fighting, which will give us another attack with our shield. At level 19, we're going to take greater 2-weapon fighting. You only need a +4 belt to get these, and I know that you're going to find one by this point in the game, so you can take that feat. And finally, level 20 takes us to our 8th level of Gendarme. Now this is why we took Order of the Sword. This ability is currently glitched. It won't say anything. I'll tell you what you get. Mounted Mastery. Now what this does is, whenever you make a charge attack, you get to add your mount's strength bonus to all of your other damage bonuses. Okay, now if you saw in the beginning of the video, we're going to be writing a mount that has crazy strength. So this is going to be an insane amount of damage to our attacks. It's also applied to every one of your attacks made with a pounce action. So all of these things synergize really well with this ability. This is also bugged right now, but I believe we're also supposed to get another mounted feat, and I would take Indomitable Mount at this point, but this is kind of bugged out. So hopefully they get that fixed. Okay, for the Mythic Path, go whatever Mythic Path you want. This is where you really get to define your character and make it your own. I will say that my choice for Mythic Abilities was Limitless Rage. This lets us rage an unlimited number of rounds per day and gives us temporary hit points when we rage. Mythic Feats, I went with 2-weapon fighting, reduces our penalties for 2-weapon fighting. Next Mythic Ability, I went with Mythical Beast. That's going to really buff our mount with Strength, Dexterity, and Constitution, equal to our half our Mythic rank +1. And also our pet will ignore damage reduction. Very big for this game because everything has damage reduction. Next Mythic feat was Mythic Power Attack. Then I went with Mythic Charge. Gives us an extra d6 of damage for every attack made during a charge. We're charging all the time. This gets applied to every attack you make during a pounce. So this is a lot of damage. It's also divine damage, which bypasses just about every type of reduction. I then went with Improved Critical. Abundant Casting, because at this point I chose the Demon path here, and this will give me more demon spells. Also, I'm kind of running out of good Mythic abilities, so I went with Abundant Casting. Then we went with Destructive Shockwave. When you miss, you still do damage equal to your strength, and since we get so many attacks per round, this is a really nice buff to our damage against high AC targets. And I was kind of running out of things here. Choose whatever you want, but I went with Ever Ready for our last Mythic ability. I don't know if this applies to shield slams made during a bashing finish. If it does, I would take this earlier, because this would actually be really good. And lastly, Flawless Attacks. Iterative attacks. Those are attacks made with our main hand, with our scimitar. Normally you get a -5 penalty for every attack you make, but now that gets reduced to -4. I went with Demon because, actually because of this one aspect right here. This gives us when we do Demonic Rage, we get a +2 to melee attack rolls, but if you look down here, we get the Powerful Charge ability, and whenever we charge, we increase our weapon damage dice by 2, and we also apply 1.5 of our strength bonus. That would be really good for this build, so I went with this. But like I said, do whatever you want. Alright, now if you've always wanted to play that Dragon Rider character, here's how you do it. First of all, you gotta have that ultimate buffer brown fur transmuter in your party. And I've got a build video out there for this, so check it out. Number 1, we're gonna use the share transmutation to buff with all these cool transmutation spells that are normally just personal. Like you can see, I've already buffed my party with Fiery Body. We're gonna take our pet and we are gonna do share transmutation. Also, we're going to pop Powerful Change to get that bonus stat buff. And we're going to turn our pet into a dragon with Dragonkind 3. That makes us a huge dragon, as you can see. We still have that Fiery Body buff and everything else. We're also going to buff our pet with Transformation. This is huge on pets because pets are 3/4 BAB. This is going to turn it into a full BAB class. So our 16th level pet, which normally would have 12 BAB, is now going to have 16 BAB. So we need to share transmutation. I'm also going to empower this with the Powerful Change. Pop that onto our pet. He's already getting crazy here. Next up, we're going to go Powerful Change Animal Growth. And that's just about it. The last thing we're going to do is a Powerful Change. So pop the Powerful Change Bull's Strength onto our pet. Now there's a lot of other buffs you could cast onto your pet and onto your character. These are just the ones that I wanted to show you to maximize your strength. And now that our pet is fully buffed, you can see 77 strength. That's so ridiculous. I also have the Ring of the Stern Hand on my main character here, which gives us an additional +6 to strength. But you can see, I mean, these characters are just respec, completely naked, and they have insane numbers. So add gear to this, and 56 AC, I'm not even trying to buff AC. Things can get a little crazy. All right, that's the build. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.